here. So, with that being said, damaging wind gusts as well as quarter size hail could be possible out of this here. So, we switch over here to the velocity scan. Basically, this is what we use to detect rotation. It does not appear that there's any rotation going on out of any of these storms, which is good. Obviously, that's kind of the big concern today is tornadoes, but I can tell you right now, it does not appear that there is any rotation or any tornadic activity that is occurring inside of this severe thunderstorm. So that's definitely some good news, but we'll just definitely keep an eye on it. Like I said, these storms are just now really starting to fire off here. So obviously things can, change here very, very sporadically. Let's see here. Do I think Tulsa, Oklahoma will get in the enhanced risk? So areas here towards, Tulsa, obviously Tulsa being northeast, I really don't think that is going to be an enhanced risk. I think that where the enhanced risk is now is where it's most likely going to stay for the most part. I think you're just going to be stuck there in the slight risk, that level 2 out of 5. But regardless of what severity level you're in, I mean, there is overall the word is that there is a threat for severe weather. You are in that 2% zone there, which is obviously, for tornadoes there. So an isolated chance, there's a possibility of a weak, brief tornado that could happen nearby, mostly just east of Tulsa is where the bigger risk is at. When it comes to hail, actually hail's a pretty decent concern here. 15% risk here, and damaging winds also kind of over the 15% zone. So yeah, I mean, regardless, you still are so you are still in that slight risk, which is still a pretty decent deal in which you definitely still need to monitor this. Absolutely. Let's see here. Looks like I came home from Alabama just in time. So yeah, Alabama, not for today, but for tomorrow, there's actually another enhanced risk. I forgot to tell you guys this. Yeah, there's actually another enhanced risk here. Another 10% significant risk here. So tomorrow is going to be the carrying on of today. There's actually going to be another severe weather event, or obviously as that cold front pushes eastward, so does the severe storms with it. And actually, we do have ourselves a second enhanced risk here for tomorrow, being the third, across portions of basically, southeastern Louisiana and portions of south central Mississippi, portions of central and south central Alabama. So those areas have got to be watching out for this here. But that is indeed what we are actively seeing here. So we have the next 2 days really looking quite active here, in which we definitely have got to be watching out for. Let's see, Proxy here gifting 10 memberships as well. Proxy, thank you seriously so much for your kind support. That is super, super greatly appreciated. Big shout out goes to Proxy as always. Thank you seriously so much there, Proxy. Definitely does mean a lot to us. But anyways, like I said, that severe thunderstorm warning, we have about 30 minutes to go. So this will expire here at around, let's see, so 1:45 Eastern, but this is in the central time zone, so simply just subtract an hour. So 12:45 p.m. this will be expired. So once again, this is for areas of east central portions of Arkansas, just southeast of Little Rock. This is indeed what we are actively watching here. So once again, about 50 miles, 50, 60 miles southeast of Little Rock is where this severe thunderstorm warning is currently in place. And like I said, these areas that this does include includes portions here of includes portions here of Gillette, St. Charles, DeWitt, Indian Bay, Ethel, DeLucy, Crockett's Bluff, and Lawrenceville. So that's kind of what we're talking about. So those areas is inside of the severe warning, in which we definitely have got to be watching out there. Let's see here. Devin, member for 4 months, Category 1 Club. Well, thank you so much for that there, Devin. So I hope you're doing a fantastic day. I hope you got my live webcams that I sent you. Yep, I got them. We'll be probably using them later. Let's see here. My weather station is saying the temperatures are going down. So, let's see here. Hello from Conway, Arkansas. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Dilly says, how much energy will be in the first round of storms? Use up how much it'll erode the cap. Really affect how the second wave of storms go. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we take a look here at the meso analysis. Actually, like I said, this is just based on current conditions of the atmosphere right now that we're going to look at here. So this is basically, showing us, I mean, we have a lot of instability. Like I said, typically what that means is just a lot of energy in the atmosphere in portions of eastern Texas. Actually, not even cutting off there. Actually, there's a bunch of energy that's in effect across portions here, or there's a bunch of energy that's there across like Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, even portions of Mississippi right now, which is definitely really, really crazy. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it. We'll definitely be watching out for this because, like I said, I mean, conditions are set to worsen over the next several hours here, in which we definitely just gotta need to be watching out for this. Let's see here. Goat edits Prod for a member for 1 month. Well, thank you so much. So I got a free membership around a month ago. I can't renew mine, but thank you for gifting me a membership. Is San Angelo, Texas safe? So for San Angelo, Texas, obviously if we switch over here towards the region here, so San Angelo's not in any thunderstorm risk at all. So you're good. Yep, you're good. You don't gotta worry about any thunderstorm activity at all. Because this cold front is actually east of you now. So you're good. You don't got to worry about anything. But anyways, a little update here on the severe thunderstorm warning still kicking off here. Once again, there's some good news with this. It does not appear that there is any rotation that is occurring inside of the storm here. Like I said, today that is once again kind of the big concern is the possibility of tornadoes. And that's actually kind of our big concern today is the possibility of maybe even a few large tornadoes, that's a little bit concerning. Like I said, that's what we're going to be monitoring today. That's the reason we are live, is if there's anything that happens, we'll definitely let you know. Let's see here. Self-Care says, Happy New Year's. You as well, Self-Care. Thank you for joining us. Moose here, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you all here. So, now we're going to take this over to the models, guys. I want to go and show you all what the future could look like based off of the latest HRRR model. I'm going to go ahead and move that little pin so you guys can see. The time is right here. Just right up there, my friends, if you want to follow along here in time. So we track our way down here for later on. So obviously today, right now it is 1 o'clock Eastern. This goes off of Eastern time. So obviously we're starting to see the introductory of some storms across portions here of the Southern Plains. Now that's actually firing off a little early compared to what the HRRR model has to say. But as we track our way down here in time, you can see the storm coverage really kicks off for late afternoon, early evening here, which you can really see that actually, kicking off here. But that is indeed what we are watching, and obviously overnight here, this is going to turn into a very long line, stretching through portions of like Missouri, Arkansas, maybe in the portions of Louisiana as well, which is going to be pretty concerning. Let's see here. Do I think southern central Tennessee is going to see any violent tornadoes? So south central Tennessee is actually not under any severe weather risk. It's mostly these areas here that is basically in southwestern Tennessee. Like I said, they actually did introduce the enhanced risk for portions of western Tennessee, including Memphis. But for south central, basically anything just, towards Interstate 65, towards like Lewisburg, there's no severe storms expected here for today. Now for tomorrow, that's a different story. As the storms move eastward, so does a severe threat along with it. And yeah, we actually do have ourselves the threat tomorrow for some severe weather, which we got to be watching out for that tomorrow. But obviously today we just got to get rid of, or obviously we just got to go through today's concern right there. Let's see here. So got more comments coming through here. I'm going to try to get to as many questions as possible here today. Let's see here. How is Tyler, Texas? I think Tyler, Texas is in eastern Texas, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, there's Tyler, Texas. So yeah, Tyler, Texas is under that enhanced risk. Like I said, that's you're kind of right there in the bullseye of today's severe storms potential. So here across portions of like Tyler, Texas, at the moment, we take a look here at the radar view actually towards the regions. There's a few spotty showers and thunderstorms kicking off across the way right now. But anything severe is not occurring at the moment. But that is kind of what we are seeing here. Do I think those little pop-ups behind the second line will have a risk of embedded tornadoes as it moves through Arkansas tonight? Yes, I do actually think that is going to be a big concern. Like I said, I really think that the potential of nocturnal tornadoes or active tornadoes at nighttime will be a concern tonight, which, obviously that's a very big deal because, first of all, you won't be able to see any tornadoes. Second of all, like I said, sometimes, in regarding to what the storms are going to look like, it's going to be a long line, and that introduced another problem of something we call rain wrapping tornadoes. Basically just wraps in a whole bunch of curtains of rain around the tornado and it makes it impossible to see. Plus it being nighttime, there's no chance of you seeing it. So you just got to rely off of those warnings, basically. Yeah, we just got to really be relying off of those warnings there, which is, what we're going to be talking about. Like I said, if there's a warning that gets issued, we're going to be letting you know, guys, about it here. But once again, if you have any questions during today's event, let me know, and we got you covered. Let's see here. Self-Care says, any coverage of the Minnesota storm? So this is actually in association with the active snowfall that's occurring across the north too. Right now for Minnesota, there's a little bit of snow that's actually starting to fall here. We actually moved the camera here. You can see there's a bit of snowfall falling across portions of South Dakota and the portions of southern Minnesota here. Looks like some heavy snow is falling in southeastern South Dakota here. Pretty much right here towards the Sioux Falls region. Kind of looks like we might be seeing a little heavy snow band moving through. We're going to have to get used to that because things are going to be getting a bit crazy. Let's see here. But yeah, that is what we are looking at there. So let's go ahead and move on back here down to the south. Like I said, we're watching an active severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect here. Like I said, these storms are just now really actually starting to fire off across the country, across the regions here. Like I said, right now we're starting to see some storm action. We actually take a look here at my the overall nation view when it comes to radar. And you can actually see those storms are firing off as far east as like northwestern Mississippi there. You can actually see if we zoom in towards the state, you can see we got a little bit of, spotty kind of thunderstorm activity that's going on there. And obviously, like I said, they're towards Arkansas, southern, south central Arkansas. There's a lot more thunderstorm activity that's really just kicking off here within the last hour or two. Same thing for eastern Texas. Like I said, we take this in the future here, once again, based off of the models and such. These storms are just going to be growing in coverage over the next several hours. So if you're here right now, you're catching this in the early event. You're catching this in the early portion of this event. And like I said, so basically every hour that passes, the more storms are going to happen. The more they're going to start growing. They're going to start growing more north to south. Like I said, obviously today's risk covers a very large area. We're talking millions of people that's in the possibility of some severe weather here for today. So we're definitely watching that closely. We are definitely watching this very, very closely. But we have ourselves a bunch of, pretty nasty, non-severe storms kicking off here to the south of Little Rock here for the most part. Basically across portions of southern Arkansas, we have a little bit of action. Some of these storms could be producing some localized hail for the most part. Once again, none of these are severe except for the one that's here in the far eastern, basically east central portion here of Arkansas. We are watching it. We are indeed watching this here. Like I said, we have 20 minutes to go on this in particular warning here, south of Holly Grove, east of DeWitt, for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well as quarter-size hail being possible here. So we're just going to be watching out. Let's see here. Peanut Butter says, hey, everyone. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Vicky has a question saying, how is Mobile, Alabama tomorrow? So Mobile, Alabama, if you take a look here across the region, so there's obviously that. So we take a look at down here towards Mobile. We actually do have a risk here, a pretty decent risk for Mobile tomorrow. So we're going to have to be watching this tomorrow as well. We might have to do another live stream because, like I said, today we have that enhanced risk, and tomorrow we have another enhanced risk across the region. You can see as the cold front pushes east, the severe storms do as well. And like I said, we have another big risk here for tomorrow. So for Mobile, Alabama, yes, we got to be watching out for it. Like I said, obviously here towards the state. We definitely got to be watching out tomorrow for severe storms. Now today, it's possible we could get a few rumbles of thunder out of some, kind of some spotty storms that could form. But overall, none of them are really expected to be severe today. But things are going to change tomorrow. Tomorrow is your big day. So watch out for that. Anyways, but let's see here. Can I check on Kansas City? Yeah, so Kansas City is under that marginal risk here still, as we did talk about here yesterday. Actually out of the tornado probability, which is good news. The hail percentage, though, is still there, and damaging winds. Like I said, we take a look here back at the main Storm Prediction Center, guys. Like I said, there's a pretty big risk here that is actually here for today. Like I said, we have 3 shades of severity. Like I said, so basically the way this works is there is a level from 1 to 5. Obviously, 5 being the absolute worst case scenario, 1 being the lowest. So basically, we have that first level of severe storms. Now, what classifies a severe storm is obviously potentially life-threatening or property-threatening, basically. So we have ourselves our first level of severity, of the potential of severe storms across the green. These are the areas that could see a few isolated, kind of well spread out severe storms being possible. Obviously that's kind of the concern. Areas here across the yellow, this is that second level of severity. So this is the region where we potentially could see more active storms. Obviously more numerous storms. Obviously the potential of them being a lot more closer together. So a lot closer together, meaning overall probability of having storms increases. And of course, we have our bullseye at a level 3 out of 5. That's a pretty big deal for northeastern Texas, northwestern Louisiana, southeastern, almost eastern portions here of Oklahoma. Majority of Arkansas is inside of this, as well as portions of western Tennessee now introduced in southeastern Missouri. there in that enhanced risk. That is where numerous severe storms can be expected with potentially some decent impacts here. Like I said, we take a look at the tornado risk here. We have a 10% significant. You notice those bars that's around that 10% zone? Well, actually, go ahead and bring that back because it's just updated. But you actually look at this, and you see how there's these little bars going through that 10% zone? That is telling us we have a 10% chance that we could see the possibility of some tornadoes being EF2 and higher. Like so, we take a look at this. We zoom in a little bit. Look at this. So that hatch area, the 10% or greater probability, EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. So that repeats every 25 miles inside of the yellow. Same thing for the brown. The brown's not really for the large tornadoes. It's just a normal tornado threat. Same thing for the green. It's the yellow areas that the tornadoes are going to be most likely, as well as most likely the strongest out of the bunch too. Will be across these areas here in yellow. That's kind of what we're seeing here. But anyways, that's kind of what we're looking at, my friends. That is indeed what we are actively seeing. So once again, I mean, if you're in northeastern Texas, I mean, if you are in northwestern Louisiana here, like I said, the majority of Arkansas, all the way from north central Arkansas to all the way down to southern Arkansas, yeah, you got a pretty big risk here regarding those tornadoes. Same thing for southeastern Oklahoma. So if you know anyone across those regions, seriously, please give them a heads up. Let them know. Also, if you have a no weather radio, make sure you have that sucker on alert mode because you want to make sure that you get those warnings in time in order so that you guys can prepare. Because like I said, that's obviously the big thing is to get the active warnings. Get the warnings is the best thing you can do during an event like this. If you receive those warnings, you can take action very, very quickly. And that's also the reason we are live here as well, because, like I said, that is also the reason we are live here as well, so we can tell you guys what's going on. Just like this one active severe thunderstorm warning we have an effect across portions of east central Arkansas. Like I said, right here towards DeWitt, towards the areas here of St. Charles, east of Almera. I think that's how you pronounce that. It's kind of a little difficult to see or pronounce there.